gun. Okay, let's see. Standard Lotus comp, FURIA on defense, G2 on attack. We get the five classics.
Looking significantly better than what they've showcased so far.
Yeah, certainly a lot of footsteps rumbling all the way towards Valen with the Prowler. Catching these two players. Gordon to the corner. Unfortunate with the nade actually. Rebounds back into the doorway.
Meanwhile, the whole of B has been taken.
Do they have any idea about this guy? Because he has them all run away, and no one is expecting that he has a perfect timing. There is a chance that Leaf wins this round, because they just don't expect this. Oh man. Okay, it's so bad. I was about to apologize, because that would have been so on. Oh boy. Holy. Dude, and these guys didn't carry on pushing after he took the jaw. Oh my god, what's going on here?
Setting up for the paranoia. Didn't think anyone would be in that post-plant positioning.
Getting muddy.
It's getting muddy. Actually is though. Alright, God, I'm shooting fade ice. Nice shots from NTR. This is it was a scrappy pistol, yeah.
Oh, the mud match that was promised.
A missed nano swarm as well.
Everything was off here.
Multiple people getting shot in the back from FURIA, just not anticipating the positioning of these G2 players.
Wait, do you reckon you'll do it, Jonas? That's nuts.
FURIA come out on top on the pistol round. I think this game really is going to be brutish in some regards.
Oh yeah, I'm taking the jacket off.
There's going to be enough mistakes from both teams, you would imagine, for individuals to come alive and make the difference.
Yeah, we'll,
maybe shine. Look at it. I mean, just a level of
we'll keep an eye on this one. Because they got the plant, they managed to buy a little bit into it. It gives you the freedom, obviously, in terms of the guns, because no one wants to buy with Outlaw if they don't get the plant. And FURIA are allowed one death. We have the one death. Anything else is
because he got the kill on
damage.
Leaf, he could be anywhere around B main. He could connect with the player that was pushed out of Mound.
I like this from them though. Right, they take over towards A. They cut. Well, I was enjoying it until this. And they cut sound like they could have gone back. And surely, dude doesn't want to give it to him. Jonah P's having none of it.
With only a bulldog.
Yeah, and he might overpush.
Ace available here. Yes, it's an eco, but why not?
This guy is jumping. This guy's jumping through the corner, right?
But okay, they're playing it disciplined. They got the spike down. They realize it.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any holes here for Jonah P to exploit.
Okay, lovely. And relatively close to getting Havoc Sort. And again, they were allowed one death and they had it.
Early on in the game, this is a player that's come up from that tier 2 level, as have a lot of the G2 squad. But Havoc has struggled, I think, to get his footing.
What do you think the muddiest game is? The C9 Loud on Lotus was prime.
And you can see it in his games.
It really was.
Sometimes gets a bit flustered.
Tell you what was actually really muddy. Was it kickoff or was that split game? Loud and was it Loud and Lev? That was mental.
To see from him.
But they brought him up. Healed. Yeah, they did brought him up. Similar template being followed by a couple of players actually. I mean, he.
I can't remember who it was in kickoff.
Damage exchanged here, but this will be a good chance here for FURIA on their bonus. They get some form of conversion online here on the defensive side as well of Lotus, which we know to be on the weaker side of the map if you end up starting off.
Drago X, thank you so much. Thank you. With the Prime, appreciate the half a year, bro.
Leaf's gonna get pressured here, pushed out by the paranoia.
Thank you so much.
But
yeah, and they at least get a bit of this. We look over towards A, they go aggro A, we set up the judge over towards A, so stepping back towards A, especially if we start using these prowlers. Yeah, nice. Omen flashback. Question mark created, and they had the Omen close here as well, so they are going to go back over towards A. Good news is they have double prowler.
Okay.
Oh.
Chased all the way down.
It's got some pace on it.
It really does.
They're a little bit slow into this. The problem with taking late control of A is a lot of time people are just super limited. When you take it like 40 seconds, the amount of time I never see teams actually pivot and they just send it over towards A is very high. Could have been much worse here. No Omen flash on site, so they should be fine to take this.
Khalil might be going for a bit of a hero play as well. He is doubled up side by side with Havoc. Now time running short, but at least with that plan, it is into the post, swinging out wide. No way! Damage done to
Whoa.
Trent. Still mops up the
21-10.
How did Trent get that?
That's insanity.
FURIA had the jump on him and somehow still able to spray down 2 with the Phantom. He might have just saved his squad.
Toxin screen down.
The health is low, but the players, there are many.
Yeah, and this post plan is pretty much it should be unlosable. I was about to say here, but they've taken care of the first wave of things, which is Leaf. Dodging the siege now, doubled up now. Trent taking first contact.
Lovely round from Trent. Tell you what though, insane damage from FURIA. They should be pretty happy with this one. 3 guns, 1 armor rebuy.
Obstacle that was the bonus round.
Take a look at the replay here. This positioning, not a great one in my opinion from Nozra. He'd already given away that he was playing close. It's those double kills on.
But I think the deadlock on this map, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, man.
Here it is. Oh, the FURIA players just end up lining up, Khalil and Havoc, on top of each other. With 2 players surviving, like you said, Brent, G2 have got a pretty decent buy heading into this, and with 1 orb, Trent gets Nightfall online. So this
Right,
looks
we
like
got
the
full buy into the full buy, and both teams have the eco, so swing round goes in A control for C control, and Havoc's just out in the open.
What is going on there?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Out wide, I mean, there's no escape inside. It's not even a bailing out from the rest of his team. They are just going to be running and rummaging all the way now. Off to this seaside, but plan will go down for Trent. That will give him his ult.
It's a great plan position too. This is
Yeah,
the new
and they just
kind of default meta plan
Man.
spot. Steal it for your rank games. You can
this
spam
this
one
on your
round
big
as well.
buy rounds
So
when it's a
G2
swing round
force
is
out some of that
absolutely
retake utility.
criminal.
They still have options to
Did
fall
something
back.
go wrong? Is there like is there a tech pause here?
I
made 0 sense. I got nothing to cover him on this one. Normally I'm good to shoot some bail out for players, but that was.
Also just send flying just in case, and at this point has to be given up by FURIA. They realize
Oh
it,
my
they
god, this
recognize
is
it,
just.
so saving the rifles.
Well, 3,000.
And Havoc,
We got a
was
1
up
armor
to
rebuy.
5-0, I think, on the scoreboard, getting off to a hot start, getting some of those eco kills. I mean, he's just tossed that one away. There's no other way of
Yeah,
putting
he just gave him so much money. This is like when one mistake snowballs into just the whole half. Yeah, I mean, this was potentially it.
We see some teams put an alarm bot there or try to put a turret in that spot. Or sometimes you can have a duo play.
Yeah, just setting up like a crossfire, somebody at the box.
He's so far away from
Why would you play like this in your big buy rounds?
G2 go for any kind of 3 players up to 5 player attack side default towards Mound. He is stuffed.
Yeah.
You can't afford to be losing.
Best case scenario there, he gets traded.
Gotta address that one.
Like he just gets traded.
Looks like a bit of a brawl occurring though, or about to. Now as the barriers drop, yeah, look at it. Util, straight and over, along with a nade. Icy looks to do
Whoa.
some real damage.
This was lovely
And it'll just
though.
take away the life of Khalil.
Yeah, once you know they're gonna bail out, just insta get the line.
From Trent.
This is great from IC.
But
Good understanding of
anybody
just
trying
like
to
what the
push
reactions
aggressively from the
are if
defenders
they don't go
towards
heavy
Rob, so it
here,
just
and
gives
maybe they
IC all
wanted
of that
to
space
go
and freedom
close,
to know that he's not being
but they
pushed,
didn't use like the
and
normal
he can focus on
normal
hitting the
combos
FURIA
of
players
actually
who are
wanting to fight
themselves
it.
gonna be running away. It's prompted a bit of aggression from Havoc again, who this time is using information that there were attackers towards Rubble, so he knows it's a little safer to go and break that turret, finding value without being punished.
Due to causing and calling actually quite a big
It's a bit
pause
better
as
the
well.
econ in this
As
game
they
though.
get
You
that
get
first kill,
punished
now
so
starting
much
to make
for
that move
giving your.
with 50
Like
seconds on the
they
mark. They've
should
got different ideas
they
about
should get
this.
punished
Spike
so much for
from
actually
near
just
A,
saving
they're
like
making it
this.
feel like it's A pressure trying to pull those rotations. The horn doesn't get broken. Mid-round information here for FURIA. Now they can really afford to float Havoc back to a different direction. He's going to be looking to lock down B.
That Prowler as well, also finding nothing, and G2 know it. Great
This is a
information.
great call.
Great information given to Valen. Valen was too far away to really know what was going on, but
Yeah, and 2 people on site. They still have the nade tether. Gonna get anything from it.
Look down here.
Nade miss.
Horns into the back had to be broken, and also just looking in completely the wrong direction. Even hearing their footsteps here. Tap, tap with the rifles. Who will win this duel out? It's Leaf. And with that being said, only 2 left standing for FURIA. Looks very unlikely to end up
Yeah,
winning
and
this
this is
one.
gonna be another round
Still
with.
make a go
Oh,
of
okay.
things, though. FURIA,
Enemy remaining.
MW trapped down to the lower section.
great round from
Exit
him.
Strategy in his mind. He is really just stuck there.
MW got dropped down to 9 HP at the start of the round by Icy spamming.
A lovely round. 4 people, maybe an armory buy. They might even have enough to warrant this one as well.
After taking the pistol and the follow-up, they've just now been cascaded backwards over and over. Look at all of this.
Yeah.
All of that damage done. Great mid-round calling as well from G2. But now their ult cycle's starting to come online. Icy got a showstopper up there with a couple of post-plant kills. Leaves one away from having
this all backfired so heavy.
And yeah, FURIA are starting to get some of their own, but it always favors the attack side, in my opinion, these kind of setups, because you just have more freedom to pick and choose your
Like
timing.
around like this, I would be so fine with Havoc playing that angle. Right, you might be able to get one. Holy.
And they just leave one player on the other side, again, too exposed, a bit like we saw from Havoc. It's an eco, but
Khalil just hoping that maybe he can just take a shot and back away there, but
it's just the FURIA are offering too many opportunities for G2 to create 3 versus 1 scenarios around the map.
More save now. They'll at least go for this one. They don't want to save these guns.
You get that first advantage, either kill or what, some space, and then they just take these pauses. They wait for FURIA to make the next move. See if they slip up themselves. Haunt. No connections, no tags at all. Walls down, facing many players now, many chances.
Yeah, this was lovely though. Everyone was so ready. I love. Who is this guy?
And there's the value of that pause in the
Who is
round.
this? Is this Jonah P? Just the whole time waiting for some kind of contact from these guys, and then he can swing because they're just heavy committed. It was a very nice setup from them. They were just so ready. Even just like, he's basically just playing anti-flash, right? It's either if there's a flash he can swing, if they take contact he can swing.
Jonah's up to
They're great.
7.7k. What are you going to do with the rest?
Yeah, flush with cash.
Put it in the pension pot.
Exactly, 401k type beat. Well, all right, he falls.
Wait,
Hello.
shot.
Conan, looking real nice, flexing on him a little bit, but eventually
Okay.
they do
But
bring
that-
that one up.
but
So,
Does that?
4-2.
At least there's a little bit of damage, but honestly, with that run they gave them earlier, they're pretty much just buying for the whole of this half unless they win 3 in a row. Which on defense just doesn't happen.
Pistol round. Yeah, follow-up.
That's it.
That's it.
Boy, he wanted.
From Khalil's perspective,
He was so confident he was going to double
that
satchel
does
out.
look like a phenomenal peak from Icy. He just flies around the corner.
Yeah, he was there fast, it's true.
This is a must-win round for FURIA here, just to try to get their feet underneath them. They have big ultimates, but if they lose the round, their economy is going to spiral out of control again. They've put an enormous emphasis on winning the rubble fight.
Yeah, heavy over towards A. And have they done their homework? Is it always 4 people over towards A when they go close? Havoc heavy committed again.
Has to pop the nano swarms very, very early and prematurely. Prowler, locked him out of
Killjoy
position
up for
here. It's a
Killjoy.
lockdown
They
now,
saved the
but
nades.
they're not shying away from the fight,
Icy's
no
nades?
whatsoever.
Oh my god,
To
where are we?
seize the nade.
Did the nade hit? The nade didn't hit, but shout out to Trent sending it. And these all have to go back and respect it. MW0 has his ult for retake. There goes the ult for retake.
Fight them into their spawn. Icy. Take it out, MW.
Love that aggression from G2, pushing into Waterfall, huge amount of utility there, the seize, the nade, the paranoia, and then they pit on top of that and push out towards the spawn so that Trent can get plant.
It's 4 players up, just seeing if they can do anything at all, but with the murky depths of the pit, lay it down onto the side. It comes down to RNG, it comes down to spam. You just gotta hope and pray that you get a kill.
Oh, another
Yeah.
And you gotta
save.
back away, you gotta save again.
Another
Save
save.
again.
Does it matter at this point? Not even sure. I mean, they oh.
These kills.
These are devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Devastating
this is just like what you
Furia's
want.
gonna get 29
This is like when
from
you go
this
into
in terms of
practice
their
and you ask if you can have full
round.
money.
But
Like this is
some of these
literally it.
players, you look at MW who bought up. If they're not able to save rifles, then they're not going to be in a good spot again. So Leaf, he's going to keep going, but I don't think he's got the time to deny it.
Hopping around.
And that's important that FURIA got away with 2. That's just going to give him a bit of a, you know, something.
What
at
a
least
time
to
to
work
time
with.
out. Well,
But
we got to win. We got to win 4
4
rounds in a row to break the recon, guys. It's pretty much impossible to come back at the moment, but
cast your memory back to how that round
still
played
good.
out. Valen gets
Let's
the
maybe
read,
go aggro A
but
with
there's
3
three or
people
four
this time.
players over towards A in the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, going
Immediately
aggro with
goes to
4
pick
is
up
so
the
outdated. I would love to know if I think the trap play with 4 is fine, but ever since if you do that in past demos, people just look that if you go heavy A, and I don't know because I haven't been like trying to anti-strat any teams or anything like that. But if this is a common thing where they try and go 4 and that's when they make a lot of sound over towards A, it's the easiest call to just go send it C. And it did look like that. They were very convinced with it.
This is
Like,
my problem with Furia. They offer too many opportunities.
I remember what the LAN was, but that was how
and especially
that was how Paper Rex lost a couple of their Lotuses. They used to always go aggro A with 4.
Most teams try to minimize the amount of, weaknesses, mistakes, and opportunities that you have, and Furia at the moment, they're just a bit behind the other teams.
Yeah,
It feels.
and G2 are just playing a pretty standard game. I mean, it's getting to the point in Lotus with the life cycle.
Little
maps.
ROM throw,
The kind
and
of
then it
macro,
goes
how you
deep
play
and
the
it
map
breaks
on
all
the
this
inside
util. This is cool.
It's not a Souls
It's
game,
basically
it
the
is
same
worked
as they
out
used to do
relatively.
with
There's a reason teams on the defensive side are
the
being
Molly-
more
with- sorry,
defined
with
over
the
towards
Viper
Mound and
smoke.
C. It's because when you try and opt into this rubble fight here, G2 can wait it out, put the wall up, and refire on their own timings.
Well, one of the other things too is a lot of these teams are utilizing.
It is, by the way. I'm pretty sure they only go aggro A if there's 4 people.
Down from C waterfall. There were some teams in Madrid.
Good news is they didn't use
B
too
as
much
well.
util on this one, so they don't give it away. But this is just gonna be a 4-1.
Including Conan, right?
4-1 default, and they're gonna push this, and there's 3 people waiting. Holy, wait, that didn't get a kill in terms of his ult?
Yeah, I mean, 1-for-1 with Conan's follow-up. What's going on? And Conan just sprints in. I think Conan had a rifle there as well.
Oh man, this
so
team is shambles right now.
looks like Nozra doesn't
It is just an eco, so I don't want to be too harsh on this, but
Chasing his kills down, but
being generous to
like the
Furia,
whole
they've
idea
taken
here
the
is to
time out
use the
worry about
ult.
next round.
If they're gonna react over towards C, you can maybe catch one out, and then you can get a gun with the ult, and then you snowball into having more guns.
it's precisely the point
But,
I was just making, defensive teams, they don't opt in.
I mean, shout out to G2 for having multiple people here.
Doesn't favor them. Even if you're overextended like that, just that they're just locked into that little cubby.
And for sure, sometimes attacking teams on their default are going to make mistakes. They're going to be tucked into the right corner instead and not have enough players with them, that kind of thing. And there are plays around the map you can make with the Showstopper. We've seen people do the Prowler Showstopper play out of B quite a lot too. But yeah, this is rough. Furia's timeout. It's got to come up with something here
We
in
got
the next.
4 players that all have 9k.
Otherwise, devastating them out.
Normally not a great sign. Furia take a timeout? Yeah, they did before this.
One of the problems is
There's
that
at least
committing
that.
into when there's 3 players in A lobby.
Yeah.
It's not the kind of default where there's a lot of, defaulting towards mound. If you have a lot of mound pressure, then
Yeah,
there's
been
only
enjoying
one
this
player B, one
been
player A,
enjoying this
maybe
molly
you
over
go for
towards
a play
C.
like that. So what have they got to work with here, Furia?
Placing swamp
A
grenade.
pit?
Yeah, Conan does have a pit. I think he's jiggling the corner, and so any signs of life, he might choose to use it, which he does. Okay, so
Yeah, so it breaks the original setup of the alarm bot and the molly here, so it does create a good amount of pressure.
Conan's gonna have to be a bit more aggressive in that angle.
Why did they use the one way and then just send it with the Razor? I have no idea. I'm pretty confident it's to make them think that they should go do a normal CB default and that they only have one person here. Then you overwhelm the one person, get the gun. So it's like, why would you one way if you're going to push through it? Why would you be holding with 3 people if you have a one way, right? Because no one's going to push through it. I'm pretty sure that's the idea.
Positioning himself in a rough spot. And this is
But
getting
yeah,
driven into the lead now.
when stuff like that backfires, it does look ridiculous. But I think that's the thought process.
So 2 ultimates used in this round for Furia and expended in the first minute of the round, as G2 have done a great job actually of prodding around the map, working out the weaknesses. They've broken all of Havoc's utility. They've forced out the Viper's Pit. They've forced out the Nightfall.
Holy hell, what is this Prowler over towards A?
Well, Furia are going to be locking this one down shortly. They know it's all being funneled towards this B side. G2 barreling through with brute force, though.
If we ignore the pistol,
No
Leaf's
confidence
util's
in
been
that
great.
side. But it's Havoc brought down weak from the nade earlier on. Doesn't want to take a risk. But in a 3v4 retake, can Khalil come up with the goods?
Shot, man.
But it's traded. Trent's immediately there. Now he can vacuum up that space and hold this one. A post-plant position here from main. The little door angle. It's almost impossible now, really, for Furia. Conan will do his best.
Lovely though, they're playing it well in terms of everyone playing off each other. Shout out to Leaf, this was a great round.
Yeah, and that's disaster. 7 rounds in a row, every kind of rifle situation going
Yeah,
on.
this is really bad. For their map pick,
The
it's
ultimate in round
holy.
9, massively in favor of Furia as well. They locked off the whole of the C site with the Viper's Pit. They had a Nightfall to be able to work with. They can stack their other 4 players, 2B, 2A. They should be winning that round every day of the
It was the
week.
best chance they had.
But credit to G2 and their macro calling, because they were so active.
Yeah.
Force out Pit, break all the Killjoy utility, force out the Nightfall with that re-clear towards A, and still have time to hit B and trade each other out. Really well done. Cover going out. Unfortunately, with all the cards stacked against them, yeah, G2 still winning the round. And I say unfortunately, that's from the perspective of FURIA, who just have never been able to find a foothold in this game. And this is on their map pick. You heard the analyst desk. Both of these teams were expecting to play a somewhat even game because they've both been struggling.
But struggling against different opponents.
Oh.
Barrett
Yeah, he got
forward
caught
again.
out here.
There's that brute force on display here by G2. Just
Oh,
using that
man.
raw aim, and of course they have the better.
At least some of their bigger mistakes are on ecos.
Sees, no connection to the back
Like
of
the
it.
only,
All
it's the only
players now
positive
looking
right now.
to potentially swarm out with a kill onto Leaf. Hello.
Yeah, Leaf just walked through the wall there into... The turret had gone offline, but...
Dude, even Sideshow's having a rough time not flaming,
Only
man.
the one connection.
Going on here.
Essentially really holds on to this angle with the orb propped up. Wants to play inside of it and just repositioning, but they are collecting all of them. Conan pick up the rifle from earlier. That was Leaf that went down, but what can you really do with it? Maybe make a decent go of things. Got to do some damage, and really you need every single round at this point, so he is going to make a go, but
Hey, love
still
your rounds.
8-2, G2 just in full control. I mean, how much more can we sing the praises of the way that they're just playing the map?
Yeah, it's lovely. There's too many opportunities because FURIA are not playing the defense well enough. But yes, in terms of capitalizing on it, yeah, great work from G2. This though just continues a disappointing cycle for Brazil. Every Brazilian team right now 0-2. The region combined 2-12 in maps. Negative 85 round differential combined as of this 8-2 scoreline.
Jesus, man. It's
It's
getting
not
worse and
good
worse.
At the beginning of the year for the Brazilian teams.
It's not great.
And
No,
that's,
it's
you know,
really
that's
not.
discounting kickoff, but FURIA, of all of those teams, Loud, MIBR, and FURIA are the one that didn't win any games in kickoff as well, so it's even worse for them. They need to find that flicker of inspiration.
Havoc's so far forward there as well, just holding that.
I
angle
feel
on,
I feel bad for this guy. He's having a nightmare.
Everything's falling to pieces.
Having an
They have different
absolute
setups and
nightmare.
protocols.
They're stuck. They've got a defensive setup there where Conan's relying on Havoc staying alive. And once Havoc dies, he's got his head on a swivel. 5v2.
Onto Heaven, MW, there's one. Satch's back up and again up through. It's a high-low angle, but McLeod's just inside the smoke alone. We'll go for this here with a nade. Invested everything though, and
Boy,
every
man, I'm
action
not-
anticipated. It's just too fundamental tier
I'm not
gap
sure they
being
can
on
even
display
get a
here
buy
between
round
these
of
two
what's
teams.
going on.
Didn't come into this, series.
Like this is ever since they got money to actually afford guns. The buy rounds haven't even looked close.
Kind of difference in opponents. I mean, G2 struggled
Good
against
job
a lot
they
of
got
teams.
pistol. Yeah, it might have been a
Some teams that
13
A lot
nil.
of people do put, you know, a bit of disrespect on the name, I suppose. but
What's
they have
happening
hard
this
finding
week?
Things in their group. They're actually not a pushover team by
No,
any
they're
stretch of the
not.
imagination.
No, 100 Thieves have been doing all right, and I think G2 struggled in that match. But yeah, the thing is as well, you could have said the same thing about FURIA. FURIA played against NRG twice this year,
Right.
and they got smoked both times. But we know the quality of player on NRG. That I think the difference is that they just got absolutely rinsed. And unfortunately, if you're a team that's already struggling to get that confidence up,
Really loving how they're using
it
this.
just hurts.
Right,
even
the
more.
killjoy stuff, to break the killjoy stuff, I feel like that
Time to
is
be a hero here. He's
that is
overstaying
very
on the
underrated
lockdown. He's
because
really
it just frees up the
overstaying, and now
raise a
you're
lot
gonna
more
try
to
and
go
pick and
everywhere
choose
else
that
as well,
timing.
and also
The
just
perfection
save
here, the bullets
the double
spraying
satchels to
it
send it
through.
in.
I mean, the entry of G2.
Two extra players as well. This guy over towards
Maybe we'll
heaven.
time to take
Ult
with
goes
this one
in.
with
It's a
the pick on
lovely
top of
ult.
it.
It does give him this path
Very
though.
familiar setup. We saw this one in
Honestly,
the prior
Fade probably
round.
needs
It's a
help
flood
on
attempt here
site.
by Havoc. He's way ahead of the rest of his team, but he wants to try
Or
and make
not.
the most of it, but he doesn't know which way to turn and twist and look here into the back. Showstopper, Earn, and Rocket sent flying but brought down in response. There's only two left to
I
stand.
mean,
and do
G2
this work. It's
perfect
looking
snowballed in a
like,
lot
okay,
of these rounds,
why
but
does Pit dealt
this
with?
is
Gonna move on here. It's 2 versus 3. Make
Oh,
it 2 versus 2.
maybe.
Best chance in a long while. Paranoia, blind and deafened.
Oh, they really need this.
Dwindling 1v1. Noz was sticking onto
Damn, okay, solo.
Final shot.
Solo play, nice round from him. Okay, they got 3. This is their first buy rounds.
No charges.
Winnable.
Okay.
Switching
I mean, listen.
Winnable.
They are moving to the attack side of Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just
Yeah,
their worst
it's
sign.
just been so brutal. Good work there to still keep things together in a tough 3v3, 2v2 scenario, but that round is not how the whole half went.
Hey, listen, stranger things have happened. We'll find out in the next half. But first, let's hear from Furious Conan and get his, overall thoughts on the competition.
A G2 é um time muito bom. Tem jogadores que tem muita mira lá. Jogadores muito talentosos. Eu acho que a gente já treinou bastante contra eles. A gente sabe um pouco do jeito que eles jogam. Dá pra se preparar bem contra eles. O jogador perigoso deles é o Leaf. É um jogador muito agressivo. Ele tem muita mira. É um jogador que a gente tem que se preocupar um pouco, porque se ele entrar no jogo ele pode acabar carregando. É isso.
Well, yeah, pretty much that sums it up, man. Well, I still kind of the kind of big positives I want to take, but just focus on G2 for a little bit again. A lot of how they're using Leaf at the moment is great. There's a good amount of freedom. I like the amount of pressure they're creating over towards C. Not that we saw FURIA try and hold C much with numbers, like at all, but the util over towards C has just been, in terms of the killjoy util, it's been wrecking the killjoy util.
You should be building that.
It's been creating so much pressure over towards C.
That's what's confusing, and that's, I think, Brent, that there's probably some element of choking on stage going on with this team too. You just look at the decisions that they're making in some of these spots, and it might be the weight of expectations, it might be the fact that they feel like they're in a rut, or the fear of losing ending up becoming a reality, but
yeah, I think it's best not to ask. Best not to ask at the moment how anyone from FURIA is doing. It's not been great to watch.
We were expecting more than this.
Yeah, we certainly were. I mean, that's coming from our, English-speaking Western perspective as well. Imagine a team like FURIA when they've got the weight of the Brazilian community behind you. Listen,
absolutely,
they're not exactly soft-spoken, and that can be
Same.
a lot to weigh
Behave
on
yourself.
if you are a team, even if you are sitting up at the bottom of the barrel right now in your group, looking to get that first win. But okay, I'll sell you some coke. I feel like we've been doing it the entire Super Week, Josh. We're the coke merchants. We've been dishing it out, man, on every street corner for the second half of an underperforming team. But they are moving into the attack side of Lotus. A pistol round.
Okay, let's heavy focus. Let's search for some good signs.
Important here for FURIA.
Let's search for anything, any kind of positive.
Look at the 3 Sheriff buy on the attack side pistol.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Wild West cosplay.
Conan, MW, and Havoc, all with the Sheriffs.
That's not a good sign, man.
Certainly
their pistol. No, I agree fully. Their pistol round is you guys walk out and we'll all take shots. Like, what are you guys doing in practice, man? If this is like your pistol, it's like the one round to ensure that you guys can actually like snowball into a game. Your thing is to buy free sheriffs.
Clear strategy, a little similar to the one that we were breaking down in the pre-show.
I mean, they're probably going to win because I'm complaining, but
the one who's got to lock down this angle now that they do have a rubble control, but a wall in his face adds in that uncertainty. It's just gnawing at the back of his mind. He has a crossfire set up to try and play off with the rest of his team. The Classic is doing far too much work in that spot. Valent's still alive, but not for long. Havoc eventually returning the fire into a 2-on-2. There has to be a 1. Shots rattling away. Trent ducking away here with the door opening wide. Starting to get a move on now towards that A site.
This is a good read from G2. They know they've both passed.
And the shots are found. Spike dropped down. 1v2 now for Havoc.
I mean, at least they were jawed together. Like a double body shot, but
healthy targets on the other side. It's gonna have to be precise, straight to the dome.
There's like no good signs. That's the issue. Teamwork wise.
But the trade is almost picture perfect there from Leaf. Right on the target. Doesn't let anything slip.
A little bit wonky there from G2. The re-clear towards rubble, not perfectly executed, but then Valen finds the perfect timing. Khalil has just got his paranoia out in his hands. They're not thinking about a player rubble, they're thinking about more players over towards the breakable door. Yeah. Just, all...
Baku, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the gifted. Thank you. All the gold if you're hit. Okay, you've already done it. Love that.
So G2 take
been unhinged this year. Oh, we've seen some... We've seen some questionable stuff, though. We've seen some really worrying signs.
He's showing that respect as well. He's not going to take an early fight and throw his life away, so he keeps the util up and kicking. Watching for these 2 players as well, but at this point, FURIA not running out of options. You do essentially need a thrifty win here. You'll be able to farm up somebody's orbs, MW, but with how little of a buffer they've got in terms of the round differential, is he even going to get a chance to build up to the ult?
Yeah, they need a couple of players to just start hitting some unbelievable shots. And it's a pity because, to be honest, when FURIA are picking Lotus, they're probably thinking, generally teams feel very confident on their attack side of Lotus. And they've barely had an opportunity to play it so far.
Havoc is, I mean, he's way ahead of them, isn't he?
What's going
From
on?
Trendo.
Why is this guy solo on A site?
Caught by the horn, swinging back in. Easy pickings for G2.
Players are just crumbling here.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, G2, very good awareness.
It's individual around the map. FURIA, they look honestly like they've given up with this map, and they're just trying to make anything happen on an
Yeah,
individual
no,
basis
it is.
they can to
Thinking about
give them a
Icebox,
chance.
maybe.
Maybe,
Yeah.
and, you know,
I
if
think
we
this
wanna think
timeout's
about
good,
Icebox
and
too,
it's
both
just
of
like,
these teams
guys.
play a somewhat similar style. They played a lot of the double smokes kind of stuff. We saw MW having a lot of individualistic impact on the Omen. But one of my issues, Bren, is if, and I'm speculating here, I want to be very clear, if it is an issue with choking on stage and having that like unable to perform under pressure stuff for FURIA, then losing a map like this just sometimes it just booms you for map 2.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter how good your game plans would have been had you played it, you know, in a vacuum. It's within the mental context of the match you're playing.
So I mean, you can't shake
What
the
happened to
feeling
the
like you
Brazilian
slipped up on
teams?
the,
Yeah, they're having a rough
your
split.
best opportunity, right?
No
You
doubt about that.
Yeah, it
Right
can
at
be
the
very
beginning.
tough. Very tough.
We'll see. I mean, the amount of adjustments you can really make if you are FURIA, it's got to be mentality at this point. We haven't even seen enough of the one side to really make any calls.
We literally haven't seen any attack side here, and they've taken a timeout.
Yeah.
So they haven't.
I mean,
really
but you could
learned
tell
anything.
you could tell
This
something
all-
internally
this
is
timeout,
so
the only
wrong
thing
with
that
what we've
could
seen from the
possibly
past
be
2
progressed
rounds.
Is stuff
Like,
communication,
there is no way
mentality,
that was their pistol round that
reminding
they
them of the
bought
game plan,
into
trying to
the
get them more
beginning of this
focused.
game. I refuse to believe it.
That kind
And
of
then
thing.
even if
It's
you have an
nothing
eco, I don't know how far they plan
strategic.
ahead in terms of like rounds lost or rounds won. Surely that can't be your eco as well.
Show me some firepower.
Solo
FURIA.
walking over towards
a
A,
little
over
bit more
towards here.
competitive.
Then we have one here, here, and here.
This
What
is the
a
round where you would expect them to show it. But they're coming in here with only one Prowler, no C's, no Boombot. Like,
Utility being optional, apparently.
I'm really
Those have one
surprised that
power.
G2
Used and broken for
didn't
him.
get
Actually, it's a
tempted
bait
to
and
go
switch.
for
Nice, he's gonna get back
Outlaw
onto the
here,
line. There's Paranoia
considering how much
forward
they
and
bought and
flying.
how
MW
much
loses
their
his
money
fight
was.
out nade.
I think I was a
Up and over
Stinger
the top,
player
and
here. I'm
smoke
taking
as
that
well to
here.
just provide that extra bit of
The
cover.
and they
easiest
can
bit of
both play
farming.
inside of it too. These are the layers that a lot of the top teams have, where we saw a similar kind of mound fight from FURIA. It was just Havoc on his own.
Supportive util on Trent. He was a little bit wide there, but
This push out through C. I mean, Havoc's going to get caught in the back here.
Oh.
Unless he's aware of it. He does seem to know there's a threat.
oh, he's losing it. And these kills, I mean, this is the round they really should be converting. They're up against opponents of G2. They don't have the guns to be making this work. It's still find themselves
Pivot
in
over
that
towards
driving
B
seat.
with
Let's
no
say
map
B, but they
control.
don't have B main
If it's
control.
the B, you don't own B main, you don't own heaven.
And they're all going to be collected surely here. They don't know which way to look.
Holy, bro.
Stuck with not a clue and not a
What's
chance.
going on, man?
It's a killing field. I mean, that is just...
Match point.
It's painful to watch,
Yeah,
Brent.
it is.
really bad.
If you're a G2 fan, you're loving this. It feels like a free win. But for everybody else who's either turning up hoping for good competition or FURIA to rebound, it just...
Get out.
it hurts.
Painful.
One enemy remaining.
I'm sure if FURIA watch, well, for starters, I'm not sure they even will want to watch this one back. But if they do go into the VOD review and watch it back, they'll be bitterly disappointed at what they're doing in some of these rounds. It doesn't look solid.
Well, opting now for that fast B play. It's a team flash, team blinds. Yep, I mean, Paranoia just clicking right onto them. G2 happy to play these crossfire setups. Conan might be able to do something about it over this Guardian. In his hands of the Prowler. That is disrespect being shown. G2 choosing to take that timing and fight through heaven. Conan, you are low. Low enough though. They do some work here. Leaf's just tapping like he's almost got a guard in his hands, but he doesn't. He has a rifle, and now they're making a move over towards the A site.
Now, surely they don't allow Leaf
No
to
way.
just get the
They're
perfect
so early.
timing on behind them. Surely
Don't do it, leave.
they're not.
Surely not. Surely not!
What?
They're giving him every opportunity to try and clutch this one up, and the spike didn't even go down.
They gave him perfect information
Oh
by just running
my
away.
God.
And Havoc was thinking about holding their backs for a moment, and it looked like somebody counter-called him and just said, no, come with.
Oh boy. Tap. Havoc looking the wrong way. That is almost a clean sweep. 13-3.
Well, Sure, man.
Doesn't really get much more perfect than that one for the start of this series of G2.
Yeah.
All smiles on their faces, they know.